What is up, guys? It is DMG here, and today we are going to be looking at the FUT Future Star Jonathan David. He has been added into the second Future Stars team along with some other solid players that hopefully we get to review. But first is going to be this man right here. So 5-star weak foot is probably the main reason why I wanted to look at him. You guys know how much I love the 5-star weak foot. I do think that that could be a major selling point, but high work rates might be odd for a striker. The 3-star skills is not ideal as well. But, you know, pace shooting obviously is going to be very good for a striker. His physical is quite good as well. His dribbling for a striker maybe isn't the best, if I'm being honest. He also has a not a lean body type. I think it might be average, so that's not going to feel great either. He doesn't have the best traits, but his passing is also decently underrated, right? 83 vision, 86 short pass, 83 long pass, all much higher, obviously, than the 78 passing that is advertised. You know, with kind of all of these things, right? The lack of skills, the high work rates, the dribbling maybe not being the best. If you were to put some type of passing chem style on him, I think he could actually be quite decent in the midfield, at least obviously the attack-minded midfield, right? Maybe not at cam, but as a center mid that goes forward. I do think he'd be good, especially because obviously, right, with the stamina, high work rates, I think that'd be fine. But we're going to try him out at striker first. You know, we're going to try him on a 2-striker front. If he doesn't really work there, we'll put him in the midfield, see how he does, and, you know, then we will go from there. All right, first game, and it's a fairly average team. Still has the Mendy and the Gomez, Rashford. If he doesn't perform that well, then we're going to switch to a, then we're going to switch and put him in the midfield. Okay, so on the ball, yeah, right, we kind of knew on the ball he wasn't going to feel that great. So unfortunately, that's not very good. Kleiber, Dybala, sends through Jonathan David. That's pretty good. Now, see again, right? His passing's actually not bad, right? His passing's actually pretty good. Gets the assist. He makes good runs. It's that on the ball that I don't think that's going to be very good. Okay, Jonathan David. He does have the strength to kind of hold off some players. And yeah, see that you can tell his dribbling's not great. It's not as if it's horrible. But also with the lack of skills, he's not gonna be able to move past players. That was actually pretty good movement. Jonathan David does have good jet, is not even close. That's actually okay. I know that's a pretty simple goal to make, right? But the positioning was actually quite good, right? He goes away, makes open space. I think that's gonna be a rage quit. It is. Good start. So I mean, we saw, right, his movement's fine, shooting is fine, nothing that really stands out. But his dribbling is not very good. So he does get 1 goal, does get 1 assist, right? Again, it wasn't as if he was bad, he was fine. But what I do want to try is him in the midfield. So I'm going to switch. I'm going to essentially do the same thing, right? 4-4-2. We might do a 4-3-3 version 2, but we're going to put him in the midfield, and we're going to have him sprint forward. I do think that might be a little bit better of a position for him. All right, next game. Very odd team, especially with that completely off-chem O-block. So we have Jonathan David in the midfield now. I want to see if it's going to be actually better for him, because, again, the lack of skills means he's not going to be very good. Hey, penalty! Thank you. There we go. Lack of skills means he's not going to be very good in the attack. Pens are all right. We're going to take a pen with him. We're going to go left, and that's a goal. Solid penalty. See, look at that. The high work rates are very good, right? Boom. I think that's what I mean. I think that might be his spot right there. Put him in the midfield, make use of his insane pace, 5-star weak foot, so you can put him on either side of the midfield. You know, I think that might be it. Okay, Jonathan David. Yeah, it's almost as if he's just a third attacker, right? Then he can burst away very easily, hold people off. Now, unfortunately, it's a hell of a save from, like, 5-chem O-block. See you, David. Again, right? He makes those runs. He's able to take over that spot. That's a hell of a cross. Gnabry. This is it. That's his position. That's his position, 100%. What we did is we put a Maestro on David because his pace is already very good. So we didn't really need to upgrade that at all. So it increased his dribbling, increased his shooting, increased his passing, right? Look at that. That was actually a solid pass. Just with the strength that he has, the high work rates, the pace, he can actually help out defensively, right? He's not going to be marking anyone, but just in terms of if you're manually doing it, it shouldn't be a problem. David there. Good. Dude, he actually does feel extremely quick, though. That's something that's very good. After that last goal, yeah, that's going to be a rage quit. Now, I think, like I mentioned, we found the spot for Jonathan David. That midfield spot is where he's able to utilize a lot of his really good stats, which he obviously does, but it also minimizes some of his lesser stats, like the dribbling, like the high work rates in the attack, which may or may not be very good, but I mean, personally, you would prefer high-low work rates for an attacker, especially a striker, and also the lack of skills, right? Because obviously, all of those things for an attacker makes them nearly unusable, or at least not nearly as good as they could be. There we go. Back to the good old Mendy, Varane, Gomez, Pope, Rashford. Back to the good old days with this. We love it. We love to see it. There we go. Yeah, I mean, he's got good movement, right? The things that make him not very good are things that make a striker not very good, right? But he still has the capabilities to do certain good things. He's able to slip through. Very, very good. Look at that, man. That's what I mean. Him being able to like burst through like that is genuinely so amazing to have in the midfield. That pace is something else. I mean, he does the business, right? I mean, goals from Gnabry to Dybala, but 2 assists from Jonathan David, right? He was able to do a lot of these things because he has certain attributes, right? All right, so after the 3 games that we played, 4 goals, 4 assists, right? So again, we played him in that center mid spot, had him roaming forward, and again, I think that's his best spot. With the pace that he has, the shooting, which is obviously very good, the very, very, very underrated passing, right? With a Maestro, he goes to 88 vision, 91 short pass, 93 long pass, right? Insane passing when you put a Maestro on him. All of his passing stats, at least the 3 important ones, are 88 or higher. Obviously, his dribbling gets increased as well. The high work rates, the great physical, specifically stamina. His strength is very good. He's not a striker, right? If you're looking for a very attack-minded center mid, then this is the guy. I know that maybe some people are going to be hesitant to use him in the midfield because of his lack of defending, but I mean, at the same time, he does have the high defensive work rates. He obviously has insane pace. He has the great stamina, so he can actually get into a defensive position, right? And then if you manually control him, I mean, I think it'll be fine, right? He actually made a couple of tackles in the second game that we played. So I think as long as you are using him correctly, then he's going to be very good for you. And to use him correctly, he does have to be in the midfield because, again, as I said multiple times, it really brings out his good attributes, right? His pace, stamina, high work rates, his shooting, his very underrated passing. But then it also limits some of his negatives, such as the dribbling and the high work rates, which for a striker are typically not very good. So that is going to do it for this review, guys. Hopefully you did enjoy it. Now, for around 300k, you know, I think he would at least be worth a try, especially because you can link him with some other players, right? Mbappe, Team of the Year Davies, Neymar, etc., right? There's some good players you can link him around. So again, he is worth a try, in my opinion. Like I said, though, that is going to do it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been DMG. Peace.